Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's referees are Kevin Curtis and Robert St. Lawrence. The assistant referees are Jim Briggs and Dan Taggart. Ladies and gentlemen, built on tradition and success, ECAC Hockey showcases the nation's most prestigious institutions and premier student athletes. For more on today's ECAC Hockey standouts, as well as the student athletes who contributed to the conference's great tradition, or to purchase apparel, check out the conference official website at ecachockey.com. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Houston Fieldhouse for tonight's game between Cornell University and your RPI Engineers. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups first for the Big Red of Cornell. In goal this evening from Peterborough, Ontario, number 32 sophomore Mitch Gillum. Off forward from defenseman, from Rumson, New Jersey, number 5, senior Joachim Ryan. A defenseman from Surrey, British Columbia, number 3, junior Reese Wilcox. Off forward from Grand Valley, Ontario, number 7, sophomore Jake Whitener. Off forward from Pittsford, New York, number 12, junior John Nisley. Off forward from Macomb, Michigan, number 14, senior captain John McCarron, and the rest of the Big Red of Cornell. The head coach of the Big Red is Mike Schaefer in his 20th season. The associate head coach is Ben Sire. The assistant coach is Topher Scott. Fans, tonight's RPI starting lineup is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts' new dark roast blend features a bold, smart, and a smooth finish, just like your Engineers. Now here's tonight's starting lineup for your RPI Engineers. Leading your Engineers tonight is junior engineer Tyler Hasty. In goal tonight for the Engineers from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 33, junior Jason Kasdorf. A defenseman from Williamsville, New York, number 24, junior Chris Bradley. A defenseman from Spruce Grove, Alberta, number 4, junior Craig Bokenfjord. Off forward from Menacing, Ontario, number 9, senior Matt Neal. Off forward from Banska Bystrica, Slovakia, number 17, junior Milos Bobela. Off forward from Rockland, Illinois, Rockland, Ontario, number 15, senior Jacob La Liberté. And the rest of the RPI Engineers. The head coach of the Engineers in his 9th season is Seth Appert. The assistant coaches are Brian Vines, Nolan Graham, and Mark Cavosi. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your headwear for the playing of the national anthem of Canada. Gentlemen, we invite you to remain standing for the presentation of the United States National Anthem, which this evening will be performed by Laura Silberstein. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to center ice. National Grid Foundation has joined Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute launching Shoot for the Stars, a new program designed to motivate elementary school students by rewarding them with tickets to a Rensselaer men's or women's ice hockey game. Joining us at center ice are student achievers from the City of Troy School District, Vice President of Institute of Advancement Greg Easton, Senior Advancement Officer Deborah Chesky, and RPI Associate Athletic Director Kevin Beatty, Curtis Leonard, RPI Hockey Captain, and John McCarron, Cornell Hockey Captain. This new program rewards students for outstanding achievement and community service with a Rensselaer ice hockey experience. We would like to thank National Grid Foundation for its support of our youth and community. Let's have a nice round of applause for all of our student achievers.
Fieldhouse at any time in the last 35 years or so, you know what the Big Red are wearing. They're wearing carnelian red jerseys with white trim, white stripes around the elbow areas, Cornell and white across the chest. A little bit late getting tonight's game started. This one is on television regionally, so the 7-minute delay from the usual 7 p.m. start. As a matter of fact, we're actually delayed slightly past 7:07, I suppose. We're still waiting for the opening face-off. Run through the lines real quickly before we get going. That looks like we're congealing quickly here. So
faster than we thought.
Faster than we thought. Everyone suddenly 10 men around the logo at center ice. So we have the face-off won by Cornell. They win it back to their defensive pairing. Wilcox drops back into his own zone, gets it across the D-to-D pass to Joachim Ryan. Now back to Wilcox. He circles around trying to get away from Neal. Back over to Ryan. Ryan across his own blue line. Tries to get it up through the neutral zone and ends up going way up ahead. It's picked up by Chris Bradley. He'll shovel it over in the corner. It's intercepted by McCarron. Now squirts back behind the RPI net, picked up along the far boards by Widener. Now Cornell has it in the far corner with Knisely. Has it taken off of his puck. Bokenfour goes back behind the RPI net to grab it. And he will try to whip that one out of the zone. It's picked up near the blue line by the Engineers. Now La Liberté over to Bokenfour. Bradley will just flick it on from the red line as RPI goes off on a change. And Cornell now will set up behind their own net. Coming through his own zone with it is Bardot. Bardot tries to flick it off his man, ends up bouncing into the zone, but they don't control it. RPI able to come away with the puck along the near boards, moving up his Neal out of the zone and into the neutral zone. Crosses the red line and sends it down. McGowan will give chase. McGowan's unable to control it. It goes instead to Bardot, who can't get it out of the zone. It's picked up by the Engineers. Over on the far side is DeVito, takes a shot. That's gloved down by Mitch Gillum for the whistle.
Let's look here at the lines for Cornell Big Red. Cole Bardreau as center with Christian Hillebrick and Dwyer Schontz. Second line, John Knisely with Jake Widener and John McCarron. Third line, Eric Freschke with Travis Yates, Matt Buckles. Fourth line, Jarek Fiegel, and Madison Diaz and Timu Tinneman.
Face-off in the Cornell zone is won back by the Big Red, but that is Nanny going back after it. He's unable to come away, and the Big Red bring it up ice. They'll flick it down into the RPI's end, picked up by Leonard in the near corner. Tries to send it on, it's intercepted by Fiegel. And now Cornell doing battle along the near boards, and the puck squirts out into the neutral zone. RPI giving chase. Cornell's just going to send it back down as they change up their defensive pairings. Intercepted by Feigl, though, and a quick shot is saved away by Kasdorf. That goes over into the far corner. Now the Engineers giving chase in the near corner. Leonard behind his own net. Cross pass for Prapavesis. He waits, sends it back to Leonard. Leonard across the red line, sends it in on net. Gillum will glove it down and hold on to it for the whistle, with Schrader coming on pretty quick.
Defensive lines for Cornell is Joachim Ryan with Reese Wilcox, Dan Wedman and Holden Anderson, Ryan Bliss, and Jacob McDonald, and goal for Cornell is Mitch Gillum.
Gillum with a 1.3 goals against average, so he's one of the stingiest netminders in the nation. We're used to seeing that out of Cornell as the Engineers win the faceoff in the Big Red zone, but it's picked up by Buckles, tries to shovel it around in the far corner, ends up getting it out. Karate will pick it up along the red line and just send it all the way back down. Gillum behind his own net will stop it, and now he'll just force it forward. Now Cornell going the other way with it. They're kind of 2-on-1, but Buckles gets around his defender. His shot is stopped by like Karate, and now Karate will just shovel it out of the zone, and Cornell gives chase once again. Bliss puts it up ice. Now it's over for Wilcox. Wilcox near the near boards is backing behind his own goal now, as Wilcox will set up. And it's taken by Knisely as the puck was left for him. Now a whistle coming up and an offsides call against the Big Red. 17:02 left in the first period. No score here from Houston Fieldhouse. Knisely goes in against Bubella. The Engineers win the draw. Bokenfour along the far boards, whiffs on a pass attempt. It looks like he was looking for Neal, and they'll end up doing battle in front of the Cornell bench. RPI comes away with it. This is Bradley. Back to the red line. He takes a shot that's saved by Gilliam. It kind of bounces off of his chest, but falls directly in front of him, and he scoops it up for the whistle as the Engineers once again come down on Gillum after a shot from the red line.
Yeah, Engineers, a lot of offensive lines here. Jimmy DeVito with Victor Lidgren and Mark McGowan. Second line, Milesh Bubella with Matt Neal, Jacob Oliverte. Third line, Zach Schrader, Jake Wood, and Lou Nanny. Fourth line, Riley Barbenet, Drew Melanson, and Kenny Gillespie.
Cornell wins the draw in their own zone. The puck ends up going all the way down ice. It looks like, no, they're going to wave off the ice, and Kasdorf looked like he was going to go back there and play it. I don't think he actually touched the puck, but the icing's waved off anyway. And here come the Engineers with it. Neal across their blue line gets it up for Bubella, who just can't get a piece of it. It's saved away by Gillum, and RPI has to go back and regroup with the puck in the neutral zone. Coming back across the blue line is Bubella along the near boards, leaves for Neal. Neal walking in. Can't get a shot off. It's poked off his stick back to the near boards, and Leonard is now going to send it in for Neal. Neal gets up for Prapavesis along the far boards. Neal tries to center it to the top of the slot, but squirts through everybody, ends up going all the way down ice, gives Cornell the opportunity to change up their personnel. Headman pass for Neal at the red line is intercepted by Cornell. They'll try and come the other way with it now. Their pass intercepted by Wilson in the neutral zone. He'll just send it down ice. That going off a Cornell player, so no icing as the Engineers get it down deep in the Cornell zone. Now it's intercepted by DeVito, who's going to lose control of the puck. Now a shot, bouncing puck, and it's gloved down by Gillum, who's had to be sharp here in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, DeVito there trying to come back around, and it's kind of a feed out in front right in the slot, right in the blue crease, and went off a stick, the Cornell stick there, and just hopped around. And DeVito just hooking around, and Gillum there had to make the save, and DeVito was right at the doorstep. Look, defensive lines for the Engineers got Curtis Leonard, Mike Prepavesis with second line Chris Bradley, Craig Bokenfor, and third line Luke Ferrardi with Jared Wilson, and in goal for the Engineers Jason Castor.
Referees, I'm not certain if this is a media timeout. Usually there's a light that they turn on for a media timeout. It's also a little bit too early for the media timeout if I understand correctly. Usually it's after the first 5 minutes are over. We're only about 4.5 minutes into this one. But whatever it was, it's over now. Both teams were at their benches, so we'll say that was probably the first media timeout. DeVito leans in for the Engineers. He will face off against Cole Bardrow. Engineers win the face-off. Quick shot by McGowan goes up into the netting, and so we'll do it all over again to the left of Gillum.
Yeah, face-offs remain there. Shot came in, trying to get it off, but Cornell just a lot of bodies in front, getting the stick in there just to break that off, and then it was redo it. 15:32 here left in the first period.
Cornell wins the draw. Put it around their net. Now heading back the other way with it into the RPI zone. This is Gilman, a shot by Cornell. Not sure if Kasdorf got a piece of it, but the puck ended up to the side of the net, and Kasdorf ended up tumbling into the net. That was Hilbrick with the shot for the Big Red as he came in from the near boards and just kind of cut straight to the net. I'm not sure he really got a shot off, but it doesn't matter as the net was dislodged.
And he came in with a lot of speed, and I'm not sure either, but he had Kasdorf getting taken out by his own man there. It was Lidjegren going in, sliding. Either way, Kasdorf making a good save there.
This is DeVito going in against Fiegel, and Cornell wins it back, but they end up having it come out of the zone, so they're going to bring it all the way back into their own end. They're being forechecked pretty well by Liljegren and McGowan. It's been one of McGowan's touchstones since he arrived here in Troy as a good forecheck. And the Engineers are able to come away with it. Wilson on the far boards tries to shovel it in, but can't hook it up. RPI able to control the puck before it goes out of the zone, though, but it's taken by Fiegel. And now Cornell trying to head the other way. That is Tietinen going into the RPI zone. Comes around the back of the RPI net, and he isn't able to get away from Liljegren. Liljegren gets it out into the neutral zone. Cornell is just going to have to try and regroup once again. Headman pass by McDonald is picked up by Wilson. Now he gets it up for Wood. Wood along the near boards, brings it into the zone, has Schrader with him. Schrader takes it over into the far corner. Now Wood. Wood goes down, but he's able to swing the puck back. Schrader didn't see it, and it's intercepted by Jacob McDonald. Now Cornell trying to go the way with it. 2-on-1 if they can get to the puck, and they can't get there. It's scooped up by Chris Bradley, who brings it back around. Heads up play by the RPI junior. Now Wood comes into the zone with Nanny. Nanny was streaking in and just took the pass from Wood onside. Now Nanny fighting behind the Cornell net for it. Comes up to Bradley at the point. Bradley tries to shovel it into the zone. It comes out on the stick of Freschke. And now Freschke into the RPI zone. Freschke trying to get around Bradley. He sends it to the net. Just kind of glances off the side of the net. Now the puck along the far boards picked up by Gillespie. Kenny Gillespie, the freshman, moving up ice. Tries to get it around his man and does, but ends up with it in the far corner. He sends it to Melanson on the near board. Melanson just takes a shot that ricochets off of Prepavesis. Didn't go anywhere. Now Gillespie in front. Takes a shot. Saved by Gillum. Looks like there was a rebound, but Gillum pounced on it. So a good opportunity there for Kenny Gillespie to take to score his first collegiate goal, but Mitch Gillum equal to the task, and we remain scoreless.
Yeah, I think that was the shot trying to go into right under the right arm, stick side, and I think it kind of squeezed through, but he was far enough out, and he just kind of rolled over onto the puck and got the whistle, and we have the face-off.
Engineers win the face-off. Shot came from Leonard, went well wide, and Cornell will take it and try to get out. Prepavesis intercepts it at the red line. Gets it over for Leonard. Now Leonard just content to send it backwards. Prepavesis can't reach that pass, so now he'll have to go back behind his own net. It's a D-to-D pass to Leonard. Leonard back to Prepavesis. Prepavesis now sits behind his own net, waiting for the play to develop. He has Bourbonnais and Leonard in front of him, and now he'll take the puck out himself. Passes up for Gillespie near the red line. Gillespie moves on from Melanson, but it's taken by Cornell in their zone. Now the Big Red moving the other way with it. Widener. Cross-ice pass looking for Weidman. Weidman can't control. Now the Engineers will try to move out. This is Wilson. Wilson moves across the logo, moves across the blue line. Takes a shot that goes off of Weidman in front, but bounces to Liljegren. Liljegren takes a shot that's blocked in front and heads into the far corner, where it's picked up by Reese Wilcox for Cornell. Wilcox hits it across for Wedman, and the Engineers there in the neutral zone doing a good job of keeping Cornell from moving the puck with ease between the blue lines, as Wilcox has to send it down into the zone, or it's picked up by Karate. Karate tries to send it around, but the only one there for it is a Cornell player. And now it's picked up by the Engineers, 2-on-2. McGowan has Liljegren with him. Liljegren and McGowan come into the zone onside. McGowan still has the puck with him in the far corner. Gets it up to Karate at the point. Karate takes a shot that's blocked in front, bounces to the near boards, where it's scooped by Teton, and he'll shovel it out of the zone. Bokenfour there to get it. Bokenfour takes a pass that's intercepted by Cornell. That's Madison Diaz. Now he comes into the zone, takes a shot. That ends up in the netting for a whistle.
Both sides here getting a lot of great action and shots on goal. I think RPI, they're you know, getting things set up pretty well out in the slot, and you know, getting out in the open and getting the passes made. And you know, just look at Kenny there at the doorstep, getting an opportunity, trying to go you know, 6 side. This is something we kind of see last night against Colgate. RPI, I think, in like a breaking the tie in the third period. Those 2 great opportunities just being left out and alone in the slot, just finding a way to sneak in behind the D and just get there and get the puck and just, you know, get the one shot, like, you know, point range from the goalie.
And before the game started, Seth Aber talked about the need to play good physical defense in the neutral zone, which was one of the keys to victory last night, and RPI is continuing to do that here this evening. That's helped them maintain a good control of the puck for most of this first 10 minutes or so. They have a 5-1 edge in shots here with 11:38 left to play in the first period. Face-off in the RPI zone to the right of Jason Kasdorf. Penalty coming up. Looks like it's going to be on Cornell just after the face-off. As the puck came around, penalty was, the arm was up fairly quick. I thought RPI had control of the puck after the draw, but it does appear to be a interference call, and it's going to be against Craig Bokenfour.
Yeah, I saw there was kind of a tie-up there in the corner right off the face-off, and it was, it looked like, yeah, the Engineer was actually on top of the Cornell player, or at least ended up that way, and the interference was called here. So Craig Bokenfour is going off here for the Engineers. They are on the penalty kill. This is the first penalty for this evening.
Cornell's power play 11 for 63 on the season for 17.5%. RPI's penalty kill 89 for 111. That is 80.2%. So the first man advantage of the night goes to the visitors. RPI wins the faceoff, and they're able to quickly send it out of the zone. Killing this penalty for RPI, Neal, McGowan, Prapavesis, and Leonard. Cornell moving it out of their own end. It's dropped back for Ryan. They're unable to really penetrate that blue line too far. RPI moves it out quickly, and Cornell back to regroup once again. Ryan pushes it into the zone. Now Ryan over for Bardot. Now McCarroll on the near boards. Taken by the Engineers in the corner. Now there's a battle going on the near board. Now Ryan fakes a shot, comes over for Bardot, who takes a shot that's blocked in front. Now it comes in front for Widener, who was all alone, couldn't get a shot off, and that puck's going to end up outside the blue line as RPI takes the opportunity to change a couple of players. Cornell brings it quickly back in, and a shot to the right of Kasdorf is sticked away. Now Leonard gets it back for Neal, and Neal just lifted it right up and out of the zone with 57 seconds left on the penalty to Bokenfour. RPI now with a full complement of fresh penalty killers out on the ice. Schrader is with Bubella, Bradley, and Karate. As Cornell looks to bring it back up ice, gets up to Shantz. Shantz gets free, takes a shot, goes off of the shoulder of Kasdorf and into the near corner. It's picked up at the point. This is Anderson who takes a shot. Now Shantz all alone. He gets dumped by his man, and that just leaves the puck alone for Kasdorf to fall on with 31 seconds left in the penalty to Craig Bokenfour.
This is Cornell here. They got excellent talent with this passing and significant moves with shooting here, and they got great speed. But you know, there's one cross pass that was made trying to go backdoor on Kasdorf, but you know, it was a smart move by Kasdorf getting his stick out there, and he actually deflected it out and actually ended up going and out of the zone. excellent with Kastorf. He's playing really smart hockey here.
Face-off won by Cornell. They're now moving it behind the RPI net. That is Shantz, who got dumped just a minute ago, the 6'5 freshman. Back up to the point for Anderson. Anderson sends it back down around into the near corner. Buckles is there. Buckles over to Shantz. Now back up to the point. Anderson can't control the pass, and Neal's able to just push it out of the zone with 5 seconds left on the penalty to Bokenfour. That's going to do it for this power play, as Cornell now 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Engineers retreating behind their own net. Bradley with it. Moves up for Liljegren along the near boards. Gets it out of the RPI zone. Up for Wilcox for Cornell. He looks, sends a D-to-D pass over for Joachim Ryan. Intercepted in the neutral zone by, looks like Bourbonnais. And he'll send it down ice into the Cornell end. Tietinen shovels it up. Heading down ice with Karate. He gets hit by Diaz over in the near corner of the RPI end. Now Cornell with the puck. They get it back up to the point. Wilcox. Wilcox sends it down into the zone for Tietinen. Tietinen can't control it, but his teammate Fiegel is there. Karate throwing his body around. And now Tietinen behind the net. Gets it back up to the point. That shot gets through everybody by Ryan and is saved by Kastorf, and a little bit of extracurricular pushing and shoving in the interim. There's going to be a penalty coming up here.
Yeah, Karadi's going off here and cross-checking. It's probably that shot right to the head, the helmet. You kind of see the head get jolted back there like that, and the ref's going to catch that and going to call it.
Karate trying to clear out some of the traffic in front. The shot by Ryan really got through everybody, and a good save by Kastorf, but not a good move by the RPI assistant captain Karate just after the whistle to cross-check the man that was right in front of him. So Cornell right back to the power play now. They are 0 for 1 this evening. Cornell wins the face-off over to Ryan. Now McDonald. Anderson takes a shot. Now a wide open net, but Widener couldn't put it home. And Schrader's able to get it over into the near corner where he'll try and freeze it for a little bit. Puck comes free to Ryan along the near boards. He sends it into the zone, ends up coming back to him, but he can't keep it in. And the Big Red will have to go all the way back down the ice to clear the zone. Ryan has his pass intercepted in the neutral zone, and it's just sent in by Bradley. Sending on net to Mitch Gillum, whose name we haven't called in the last 4 or 5 minutes or so. Now Cornell moves into the zone with Bardot. Bardot trying to get around Bradley. Sends it up for McCarron at the point. He sends it right back down in. And now it comes back around to Ryan on the far boards. Ryan for Bardot. Bardot looking over, trying to find Widener, but the pass goes just wide. And now for Ryan at the top of the slot, takes a shot that goes just wide of the net. I don't think Kastorf saw that one. Now it's back to the point for McDonald, now for Ryan. Ryan to Widener along the near boards, sent into the near corner. And now Widener back up for Ryan at the point, gets it over for Bardot. Bardot looking for Widener with a cross-ice pass. He can't collect it, but he goes back and gets it after it bounces off the near boards. Back around behind the net. Bokenfour picks it up, and he tries to send it out of the zone, but can't get it onto the glass. Ends up going into the crowd with 32 seconds left on the penalty to Karate.
That was a nice, nifty move there, just to get that puck away from the Cornell player, Bokenfour there, and kind of slide it by him, and kind of like a toe drag move, and a good opportunity to just hit it, shoot it all the way down, but missed the glass, and face-off right here to the right of Kastorf.
Some good sustained pressure by Cornell on this power play as they win the face-off. Anderson at the point sends it down looking for Neasley. And now RPI able to push it out of the zone. Cornell having to go all the way back down as RPI changes their penalty killers. They have their second penalty kill line out there now as Anderson brings it across the blue line, tries to go and get it himself after getting around this player, but it's picked up by Prapavesis, and he just sends it down ice where Gillum will have to go behind the net to grab it with 4 seconds left on the penalty to Karate. He is out of the box, and the Engineers now 2 for 2 on the penalty kill this evening with 6:29 left to play here in the first period. No score from Houston Fieldhouse. The shots on goal are 6-5 in favor of the Engineers here in the first period as the puck goes out into the RPI bench for stoppage of play with 6:20 left in the first period.
There's a feed up there trying to clear it down to change the men, get new fresh legs out there. the red line. Deflected out. Face off the center ice here. 6:20 left in the first period. RPI and Cornell are scoreless.
Some good penalty killing from the Engineers that they've been pretty much forced to basically over the last, say, 5 minutes or so. They've been down a man for about 4 of them, and both times with a defenseman in the box, which you never want to see on a penalty kill situation. But some good penalty killing by the Engineers, I think.
Yeah, you could get one of them, and then the Engineers did really good, defensively and pretty much limiting the number of shots actually getting on Kastorf. But when you get a second penalty in a row like that, and then it's just that sustained pressure. It's almost like a 5-minute. Just eventually you kind of wear out the penalty killing and Cornell, really was putting pressure on the Kastorf there, but he was absolutely equal to the task and keep it a scoreless game.
RPI's new task is to swing the momentum back in their favor where it had been for most of the first period at even strength before the 2 penalties. Back underway at the Fieldhouse, the Big Red win the face-off at center ice. They're unable to break free the neutral zone on their first attempt moving forward, so they'll try again. That pass up ahead is not taken by the Big Red, but it bounced off the player at the blue line. RPI now going back to get it. Both teams doing battle along the near boards. It's picked up by the Big Red. Shot gets blocked in front by Nanny, and Nanny will just bounce it up. Melanson is out there racing for it. He gets there first, waves off the ice, and Gillam's out of the net. The puck was centered, but nobody there for the Engineers as Melanson with a good heads-up play trying to find Nanny or anybody up there with Gillam trying to come out of the net to play it. Lucky break there for Cornell. So the Big Red send it down into the RPI end. They'll change their lines. RPI now moving back up ice quickly with Bokenfor moving across the red line, sending it down in. Bokenfor behind the net, puts a hit on his man, but Buckles comes away with the puck. Gillespie keeps it in along the near boards. Now back to Bradley. Bradley looking up, takes a shot, glanced off of Bliss. And now Cornell is looking to move the other way with it. That's just going to be lofted up into the air, picked up by Wood, who skates behind his own net to set up. He leaves it there for Prapavesis. Prapavesis tries to get up to La Liberté along the RPI bench. He sends it in. It's dropped behind the net by Gillam. The Big Red try to move it out. It's kept in momentarily by Leonard. Now Prapavesis will backhand it back down into the zone. Cornell has it. Player that's taken off of his stick by Gillespie. Some good back checking there by the freshman. Kept in now by Prapavesis, who has the slot, pokes it ahead. Nobody can maintain control of it as La Liberté goes behind the net to battle for it with Ryan Bliss of the Big Red. La Liberté comes away with it. Has on his backhand along the near board, spins around back to the forehand. Takes a shot across the crease looking for, I think, Prapavesis, but it was intercepted by Trevor Yates. And he'll send it out of the zone. RPI back with the puck. Now McGowan onside coming in, takes a shot, goes wide of the net, and it's collected by Cornell along the far board by Jake Widener. He sends it for McDonald, who sets up behind his own net. He has DeVito forechecking in front of him. McDonald gets it across for Neasley. Neasley sends it into the RPI end. Karate with just a quick back pass for Wilson. And the Engineers get it out of the zone. Wilson now across the logo. Gets it up for Liljegren. Liljegren pokes it down into the corner for McGowan. No, Wilson deep in his own zone. Drops it off for Liljegren. Liljegren trying to get away from his man. That is Holden Anderson. Anderson tries to get it up along the far boards. It's picked there by DeVito to keep it in. Now Liljegren doing battle with his man. Comes away to Cornell. And the Big Red able to get it out of the zone. That's going to go all the way down the ice, though, as Karate skates down. And they call icing on the Big Red with 3:10 left to go in the first period. No score.
I think of a lot of credit to the Engineers here with their forecheck itself. I mean, even the times when you think they're just going to absolutely lose the battle, but they somehow get their stick in there and kind of mess up the play and the play of the Cornell, and they actually somehow get the puck back. So
Engineers win the faceoff. Bubella trying to take a shot, but he's checked efficiently by Widener. Puck goes behind the Cornell net. Now it's up for Bradley along the far boards. It's Anderson in the far corner trying to get it for Cornell. Heads back to the point. Bradley whips a shot that's deflected in front by Schrader, but ends up going wide. Bubella along the far board has it taken off of his stick by Widener. And RPI takes control in the neutral zone. That is, Bokenford just tried to send it back in, but it's picked up by Cornell. Errant Cornell shot, I should say a pass, is picked up by Schrader. Now over to Bubella. Bubella takes a shot that's kicked away by Gillum. Now Schrader moving behind the net up for Leonard, who's stick checked. Can't get a shot off. Gets it over to Schrader along the near boards. And it is Bordeaux that comes away with it for Cornell. Now McDonald, who has Neal forechecking. Intercepted by Prapaves. It's an opportunity for RPI, but Schrader just can't get to the puck, and Cornell will go the other way with it. Picked up by RPI in their own zone. Now Liljegren, he's 1-on-3 basically. He's waiting for someone to come up with him. Now he has Wood cutting to the net. A penalty coming up. It's going to be an interference call.
I think it's going to be on RPI again. He ran into the goalie.
I think that was Wood that was coming up quickly along the. I'm sorry, that's DeVito that was coming up quickly along the far boards. Cut straight to the net with the puck. The referee's arm went up pretty quick, and they are going to get DeVito here for it looks like goaltender interference. Not a popular call, but he definitely skated directly into Gillum. Gillum ended up in his own net, charging the actual call here. So RPI with their third penalty of the period with 1:54 left here in the first. In a dangerous spot here now for the Engineers as they have yet another penalty to kill just as they were getting a little bit of that momentum back.
Face off here to the right of Castor, charges the call.
It's going to be Bordeaux against Neal. Bordeaux comes away with the victory. Wilcox along the blue line. Sends it in looking for Hilbrick. Puck squirts into the top of the slot. Ryan now backing up. Gets it over for McCarron. Now McCarron sends it in the zone for Hilbrick. Hilbrick has it come off his stick momentarily. Now gets it for McCarron, who takes a shot that's saved down by Kasdorf. RPI can't clear the zone. Puck goes off of a broken stick. As that broken stick belongs to a Cornell forward who now has a new stick. It's Ryan over for Wilcox. Dances over to the near face-off circle. Back up for Ryan at the point. Ryan fakes a shot over to McCarron. McCarron with a nice pass over for Bordeaux, but Bordeaux just has it flip up over into the netting, and we get a stoppage of play with 1:05 left in the first period. 1:12 on the penalty to DeVito.
Yeah, that was Boken for there, getting on one knee and to block that shot and get deflected up there. Engineers here have 1:05 left, 1:12 remaining on the penalty to DeVito charging, but 1:05 here left in the first period.
Bordeaux looked up to the ceiling after that shot, thinking he might have probably had a better opportunity to pick his spot. It was blocked in front by Balkenfor as the Engineers win the face-off to the right of Kasdorf, send it all the way down ice. And Cornell will have to set back up behind their own net. Anderson gets it into the zone. Shantz is doing battle with Bradley, and Bradley puts him down on the ice. Puck comes into the near corner. Anderson moves in to try and hold it in. He has Balkenfor on him. And now Yates is being battled for the puck by Bubella. Now there's three men from both sides doing battle. It's RPI coming away with it. Zach Schrader gets it up to the red line and just sends it down ice with 25 seconds left in the first period. We're going to see about 5 seconds remaining on the DeVito penalty unless Cornell scores here in the waning minutes of the first period. Big Red bring it up to the blue line and just send it in. That's going to be picked up by RPI. Prapaves just sends it over towards his own bench with 8 seconds left. Now Ryan with some fresh legs coming off the Cornell bench. That's poked away by RPI. Now here comes Neal. He has 2 seconds. Needs to shoot, and he doesn't get a shot off. Not that it matters, as Mitch Gillum was right there to make the save regardless, but a quick shorthanded opportunity for the Engineers at the end of the period. And we head into the locker room for the first intermission with a scoreless game.
Yeah, kind of look here, shots favor RPI 8-7 despite being on the penalty kill for 3 times this first period.
Basically 6 whole minutes with the exception of the very end of the DeVito penalty. Right?
Yeah. You know, I think the only time when Cornell's really having opportunities is pretty much on the penalty on the power play, and so RPI really needs to focus on staying out of the box. Other than that, I think they had most of the momentum in the first period, and But they, Cornell is does look very dangerous still on the power play, and if you continue this, getting penalties, they're going to eventually score. So here we'll take a quick break at the Houston Fieldhouse as RPI taking on Cornell. Both are tied at 0. You've been listening to live coverage of Engineer Hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy.
Prize of a 1-year lease on an all-new 2015 Honda Fit. To win, the puck must pass through the center hole of our puck shooting board just once. Let's hear some encouragement for Shoshana. Okay, Shoshana, whenever you're ready. Shot number 1 is on the way, and almost. Nice try, Shoshana. Shot number 2 is going a little wide. Shot number 3, that's looking good. Come on. Oh, a little wide. Shoshana's 4th shot is for a $20 gift certificate to Ryan's Wake Public House in downtown Troy. To win, the puck must pass through any of the openings in our puck shooting board. Let's see. A little bit wide. Okay, the 5th and final shot is at an open net and is for a $20 gift certificate to Ryan's Wake. Okay, Shoshana, thanks for being a contestant in tonight's Rensselaer Honda Puck Shooting Contest. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for Shoshana Rubenstein. Come see any one of Honda's fine automobiles just 1 mile east from the Houston Fieldhouse at Rensselaer Honda, 770 Hoosick Street, Troy. Or visit us on the web at www.getahonda.net. Rensselaer Honda, simply better. Say fans, please visit the new Engineers Pro Shop that is now located across from the concession stand behind Section 2. We offer kids' shirts, long and short sleeves, dry fits, fitted hats, pint glasses, and game pucks. Stop by and check out our gear. An additional reminder, folks, don't forget to visit the official online store for Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute Athletics at rpifanshop.com. Say fans, Ryan's Wake is proud to support RPI Athletics. Head down to downtown Troy and check out their new pub kitchen. Fans, RPI Hockey would like to thank all of our fans for coming out to tonight's game. Thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoy the game. Recognizes students who have demonstrated a commitment to our community through volunteering, outreach, and leadership. While also keeping their grades above standard, These outstanding student athletes are making a difference on and off the field. Congratulations to RPI men's swimmer Adam Kalish. You are tonight's CEFCU Student Athlete Spotlight. Congratulations, Adam. At United Group, from concept, design, and financing to construction, marketing, and management, the core of our philosophy is the people who live and work in the spaces we develop. We are pleased to offer college suites at City Station as the exclusive provider of housing for Rensselaer graduate students. Come down for a tour and experience the suite life. Special rates are available for spring and fall. Retail partners including Optigolf Troy, Plum Dandy, Japanica Grill, Subway, and Berkmeyer Travel are open for business. For more information, visit mycollegesuites.com.
And you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we will provide the broadcast on your internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org.
Shots on goal in the first period of play. RPI with an 8-7 edge in that category. Chris Bradley and Jimmy DeVito with 2 shots apiece for the Engineers. Dwyer Shantz has the lead for the Big Red with 2 himself. Mitch Gillum with 8 saves, Jason Kasdorf with 7 saves. RPI taking all 3 penalties in the first period of play. Greg Bokenfor, an interference call at 8:29. Luke Karate, a cross-checking call at 11:26. And Jimmy DeVito, a charging call at 18:06, which means the Engineers start the second period of play here on a very short penalty kill. 6 seconds remaining on the penalty to DeVito as we get started here in the second period. And the Engineers really have kind of flipped Cornell's game on them to a great extent in the first period. They did a tremendous job of forechecking, especially at even strength, and their penalty kill has been pretty strong here this evening too.
Yeah, it certainly has, especially the first penalty kill, and then they kind of looked a little bit weak in the second one, but Kasdorf has been able to task it, of course, going to the third, and you know, Cornell's been pressuring, but you know, the real concept here is to really stay out of the box and you get 3 penalties like that in the first, and you know, it's pretty much the only time that Cornell has momentum of this game. It's something you have to prevent, and just so you just keep the control in your own favor here.
Engineers win the face-off as they now skate from left to right across your radio dial here in the second period as the penalty to DeVito expires. Back to 5-a-side here at Houston Fieldhouse with 19:48 left in the second period. Bubella moves it forward across the blue line. And intercepted by Bardot, who tries to do something fancy with it, ends up having it fall off his stick. The Engineers go back and grab it. This is Leonard across the red line. He sends it down around the Cornell net. And it's picked up in the far corner by Neal, who sends it back down around. RPI can't keep it in as Prapavessis has to go back and chase. Now to Bubella on the logo. Bubella will just try and backhand it in. Doesn't get very far. And Cornell now sends it all the way down the ice for icing, which is kind of a missed opportunity there for the Big Red as they just had to end up.
Fans, you can follow Rensselaer's 23 varsity athletic teams, including their schedules, by logging on to the Rensselaer Athletics website at www.rpiathletics.com.
And so now the icing is being called. It's 19:15 remaining in the second period, and the face-off to the right of Gillum.
Call that a win for Cornell, as it is Wilcox who goes back to get it. Now it's Ryan behind his own net as McGowan forechecking. DeVito's a little farther back at the blue line, as is Liljegren. Bringing it up is Bardot. He has a go off of a linesman's skate, and it's picked up by Liljegren. Liljegren brings it into the zone. He has McGowan coming into the slot. He pulls up along the far boards and just tries to send it in as he goes down. It's taken up by Joachim Ryan. Goes to Wilcox in the near corner. D-to-D pass behind his own net to Ryan. Now for McCarron, who leaves it for Bardot. Bardot comes across the RPI logo. I'm sorry, that's Neasley across the logo into the near boards. And Wilson trying to keep Widener away from the puck. Widener gets around Wilson. Now the puck centered in front, sicked away by Kasdorf. Big drive by Bliss. That's blocked in front by Wilson. Now Bliss comes around behind the RPI net, puts it up to the point, and the pass goes across for Neasley. Puck comes back for Bliss at the point, but they're going to call a hand pass on Bliss as he tried to use his hand to keep it in and dropped it down to Feigl right on the blue line.
Yeah, that was Bliss knocking it down, trying to get a stick on it, but DeVito sliding in and trying to use almost a skate to kind of kick that puck out of the zone and tied up a stick, and then Cornell player touching it. There's the hand pass. Faceoff coming outside the zone. 18:09 here in the second period. RPI and Cornell tied at 0.
Just a reminder, you're listening to live coverage of Engineers Hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. My name is Tom Rail. I'm joined by Ryan Clark as we still have a scoreless game 22 minutes into this one as the Engineers bring the puck out of their own end. Nanny brings it across the blue line. Tries to get it up ahead for Schrader. Schrader is checked into the boards, into the end boards. Now Nanny gets taken down. Fans want to call, but doesn't look like they're going to get one. The puck now behind the Cornell net back into the near corner. And Nanny back up and working with the puck. He's trying to get it away from Ryan. Has Schrader and Anderson do battle in the near corner. Puck comes free for Prapavessis now along the near boards. Tries to get it over for Nanny. Nanny tries to send it back to Wood, but it's intercepted. Nanny gets his pass back. Now tries to send it for Wood in the slot, but can't get a handle on it. And he's just going to barely knock the net free of its moorings, and we'll have the face-off coming up in the Cornell end.
Oh, that was a great pass there, and just Wood couldn't just get all of his stick on that puck and try to get a deflection or even stop it and make a play. But as he kind of missed and he's looking behind him, he kind of ran into the goal there and knocked it off his moorings.
Jake Wood with some precious open ice right in front of Gillum, but he wasn't able to get the puck on his stick, and so it remained scoreless. Puck behind the Cornell net bounced a little bit back there, but nothing too dangerous for the Big Red as they try to move forward. Now a 3-on-2 if they can move quickly with it. This is Bliss taking a shot that Kasdorf can't stop. You wanted to keep that one into him, but it bounced to his left. Fortunately bounced to an RPI player, and now we're out into the neutral zone. Picked off of Gillespie's stick by Yates. Yates comes along the near board, but he's harassed there by Melanson. And now coming away with it is Bourbonnais. Comes from behind his own net, crosses the blue line, the red line, now crossing the blue line into the RPI end, gets it around his player now into the far boards. Tries to get it up for Gillespie. Gillespie along the near boards though, battling with two Cornell players. Now up to Krapavetsas who has room, gets it over for Leonard. Leonard walking in, tries to kind of make a pass, but the pass was deflected. Now back over to Krapavetsas at the top of the faceoff circle, whips a shot, that's blocked in front by Bliss. Now Krapavetsas up at the top of the point, fakes out his man, moving backwards, back along the blue line. Still moving, takes a shot that deflects in front and goes just wide of Gillum. Gets up to Melanson on the near corner, gets it over to Leonard, takes a shot, that's saved by Gillum into the far corner. Leonard goes back to get it. He's doing battle with Yates in the corner, and it is Melanson coming away with it, tries to get up for Bourbonnais. It's intercepted by Bliss. Bliss can't move the puck, and now RPI comes away with it once again with Riley Bourbonnais. Gets up to Jacob Liberté. Now Leonard at the point. Over to Krapavetsas down low. Krapavetsas has it along the near boards. Skates back to the point with it. Still holding on to it. Up to La Liberté on the near board, on the far boards. And he has his pass intercepted by Cornell. Now Cornell going the other way with a one-on-one. This is Freschke with Krapavetsas. And Freschke's just going to take a shot that's blocked down by Kasdorf. RPI now looking to turn and burn the other way with Bubella heading across the blue line into the Cornell zone. Takes a shot that's saved by Gillum. He kind of edges off his man into the net.
He's calling it outside the zone.
Yeah, the referee.
Ladies and gentlemen, RPI Men's Hockey would like to thank the following sponsors: GE, Moe's, Sefq, CDPHP,
took his shot.
The Ruck,
Boucher
and Clark Financial Group, Johnny Montgomery Scott, Price Chopper, Absco Fence, Yankee Trails, Red Front Pizza, Tri-City Rentals, Dunkin' Donuts, the United States Army, Troy Cabinet Makers, Ben & Jerry's, Warren W. Fain, William J. Keller & Sons Construction Company, and the Tri-City Valley Cats. Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Faceoff coming just outside of the Cornell end with 15:25 left to play in the second period. Still no score here. We figured the goals would probably be at a premium between these two teams, and it certainly has been so far in this game. DeVito and Bardreau in the face-off circle. We'll call it an RPI win. They ended up coming away with the puck in the end. As DeVito trying to send it down into the Cornell end, but it's intercepted by Wilcox, who will send it all the way down, and that is icing on Cornell. And once again, kind of an unforced error of an icing on the Big Red.
You have to say RPI doing a great job in the forecheck in the zone, just up to that point where the collision to the goal, and RPI, which they really get any shots on goal. They really need to pull that trigger right away, just get the puck on net and give Gillum some attention.
Shots 3-1 in favor of the Big Red here in the second period. 10-9 in favor of Cornell for the totality of the game as RPI tries to move it up from their own end. Krapavetsas. It's a cross-ice pass for McGowan, who can't control it. Wilcox is trying to dig it away from him. And now Cornell is going to come away with it in their end, just kind of fire it down where Krapavetsas picks it up along his own blue line. Krapavetsas up for DeVito, who just kind of lofts it down into the zone. He gives chase along with Wilcox. And it is Wedman now with Liljegren behind the Cornell net. And Bardot along the near boards gets it free to Wilcox. So now 3-on-2 for the Big Red. Wilcox bringing in the zone, had Bardot all alone in front. Whipped a one-timer that was saved by Kasdorf on a nice blocker save. And the ensuing rebound came out to the left. No one there for Cornell to pick it up, and RPI dodges a bullet thanks to their backstopper, Jason Kasdorf. This is Karate now along his own red line. Has it up for Bubella. Now Bubella trying to get it around his man, leaves it for La Liberté. La Liberté takes a shot that goes off of the pad of Gillum and into the corner. That'll come out. Volkenfor has to collect it along his own blue line. Bubella sends it into the zone along the Cornell blue line. Picked up there by the Big Red. That is Ryan now moving the puck behind his own net. He's being given chase by La Liberté and now Bubella. And Neal intercepts along the red line. Neal doing a great job in the neutral zone, kind of gumming up the works. Cornell looking for another way through. They move to the near side. Now a cross-ice pass for Feigl. I'm sorry, that's Diaz, and a pass through the crease. Cornell can't connect on it, and that is Tietinen who goes flying into the net. We'll have a stoppage of play with 13-14 left in the second period.
Say fans, Flowers by Pisha's fan of the game is sitting in section 8, row Q, seat 17. That's section 8, row Q, seat 17. Whether you're planning a corporate event or surprising someone special with a beautiful floral arrangement, call Flowers by Pisha, your award-winning full-service floral shop just steps away from historic Monument Square, Russell Sage, and the RPI campus. Call Flowers by Pisha at 272-1980 or stop in at 177 River Street, downtown Troy.
Puck down in the RPI
Section 8, row Q, seat 17.
Wedman comes in to try and hold it in. He's successful. Diaz now takes a couple of whacks at it, and he's able to keep it in. Leonard goes and gets it, and now RPI moves it out. This is Schrader was looking for Nanny with a big pass, but had the pass taken off of his stick. Heads back down into the RPI end. Leonard behind his own net. Waits there just momentarily, then brings it back around the right side. Passes up to Schrader. Schrader at the red line will send it down in. Bounces just along the lip of the half wall. And then a big hit laid by Wood along the end boards. Now Wood gets put down on the ice. He's being pushed down there a couple of times. Fans getting a little restless. No call on either of those hits. Now the puck just comes in on net and a big shot. And a goal for the Engineers. It jumped over Gillum's glove. And that's in. That big first goal goes to the Engineers. And it looks like it's going to be Jake Wood with the goal for RPI. They take a big 1-0 lead here with 12:15 left in the second period.
Yeah, it was a feed through. I don't know if it was like a pass, but it was kind of a shot that's on the ice that got on the pad of Gillum, but it came out in the slot, and Wood just coming in and backhanding it as he's tied up from behind. And just Gillum got it, but it kind of flicked over his shoulder, and
he wants that one back for sure. Just kind of flipped over his shoulder, and the Engineers going on the power play as just before the puck entered the crease, the referee behind the net raised his hand in the air for a delayed call against the Big Red. So a big opportunity now for the Engineers here as a hooking call against Reese Wilcox.
I think that was a hook that was on Wood as he was making the shot as well. So credit to Wood to actually getting it off.
So RPI on the stick of Jake Wood taking a 1-0 lead here in the second period. Now they go to the power play for the first time tonight. The RPI power play 11 for 76 on the season. The Cornell penalty kill is 57 for 63 as RPI struggles to get themselves set up here on the power play. We're about 20 seconds in. They have yet to gain the zone. La Liberté gains the red line and sends it down into the Cornell end. It's picked up by Neal. RPI looks to set up now as Schrader takes along the end boards, but his pass up for Leonard is too far, and that heads up out of the Cornell end, and it's Leonard behind his own net, waiting for his power play unit to get set up. This is La Liberté up for Neal. Neal along the near boards, chasing after the puck in the near corner. McGowan can't grab it, and Cornell now going the other way with Diaz. 2-on-2 shorthanded. Gets it across for Knisely, but Knisely can't get a handle on the pass. Now Knisely just going to take it into the corner and kill some more of this penalty. I'm going to say Wood is from Karate and Schrader on the goal for the Engineers. Third straight game that the Engineers have scored the first goal of the game, which has boded well for them in the recent past. Cornell gets control of the puck and they just send it right out. RPI has really not done anything at all on this power play. They haven't even really been able to get set up down in the Cornell end, as with 30 seconds left on the penalty to Wilcox, they look to skate up ice once again. Bubella across the blue line. He'll just take it over into the near corner. Now tries to get it up for Bradley, but the puck takes an odd bounce off the far boards, and Cornell is the one coming away with it. They'll head the other way shorthanded. Ryan gets free of everyone. He was just standing by himself next to Kasdorf, but fortunately no pass is able to come through to him. Now Cornell just going to kill off the rest of this penalty, just killing it behind the RPI net. A textbook penalty kill there for the Cornell Big Red, as RPI now 0 for 1 on the advantage this evening. We are at 10:03 remaining in the second period. RPI now with the 1-0 lead on the Cornell Big Red, as Cornell controls the puck in their own end. That is McDonald skating behind his own net. And now he'll bring it forward himself across the blue line. Cuts to near the RPI bench, crosses the red line and sends it down ice. Karate's the first one there. Karate gets over to Wood along the near boards. Cross ice pass for Wilson. He pokes it out of the zone. Now the Big Red will intercept near their own bench and just send it back down into the far corner. Comes around the near boards, kept in by Anderson momentarily, and gets it up to Knisley. And now a battle with Tietinen and DeVito along the near boards. And it's DeVito is going to come away with it. Tietinen throws another hit on DeVito. Now the battle moves into the near corner of the RPI end. DeVito has Wilson down there with him. Tietinen has Diaz helping him try to poke the puck free. Now Wood comes in and jars it loose. And it comes free to Diaz behind the net. Diaz gets it back up to the point for Anderson. Anderson sends it back down into the zone where it's picked up by Tietinen. Tietinen tries to leave it for Diaz. Diaz has it poked off of his stick. Cornell basically just holding the puck in the RPI end, but not really able to get anything done. Diaz along the near boards. He's checked by Wilson, but Diaz comes away with it, tries to cut to the net. He has it kind of just brushed off his stick just enough. He has to go and get it. Now a shot is blocked by DeVito, and DeVito just powers it out of the zone. He powers it over towards the Cornell bench. Both sides want a change after that short exchange in the RPI end. Anderson gets it up for Hilbrick. Gets it to the blue line, but he lofts it into the zone a little bit too far and ends up going into the netting. And with 8:16 left in the second period, the Engineers have a 1-0 lead heading into the immediate timeout.
Yeah, let's go to the goal here at 7:45. RPI makes it's a 1-0 lead. This goal scored by Jake Wood. And assist now going to Luke Berardi and Zach Trader.
That is the third goal of the season for the RPI sophomore. And it's also the third consecutive game that the Engineers have scored the first goal of the game. They did it against Princeton last Saturday. They did it last night against Colgate in the first period. Took them a little bit longer tonight, but just a little bit under halfway through the game, RPI breaks open to take the 1-0 lead in this one. So the faceoff coming up outside of the RPI end. It's Schrader and Bardot coming in. It's won by the Engineers. Krapovessis with a D-to-D pass over to Leonard. Now back to Krapovessis, who takes it across the logo. Crosses the red line, sends it down in. Gilliam behind his own net. Tries to whip it along the near boards. Picked up by Bourbonnais in the corner. Now Melanson. Sam Melanson in the corner trying to get free of his man. He has Bardot on him. And that comes free in the slot for Wilcox. And Cornell's able to break it out going the other way with it quickly is Cole Bardreau. Now it's dropped off for Freschke. Freschke takes a shot that's saved by Kasdorf. And now Leonard is going to whip it right out of the zone. That's going to get dropped by a high stick for the Big Red. But they're waving it. I guess they waved it off, I suppose.
Linesman had his hand up, but ref didn't blow the whistle.
Engineers now trying to move it from their own ends. Bourbonnais across the Cornell blue line. Goes to his backhand. Can't get the puck around Holden Anderson. And he just drops it off for one of his wingers. That is Bubella. Now Bubella takes a kind of a weak shot that just glances off the bottom of the net. And now the Big Red heading back down ice with it the other way. This is Widener battling with Balkenfor for it in the far corner of the RPI end. He has help from McCarron. And it's Widener that comes free. Just pushes it up for McCarron into the near corner. Bradley all over McCarron right now. He has Bubella there to help him. Bubella lays a check that takes McCarron off the puck and now allows the Engineers to move forward with it. Here's Neal with a little bit of space. He's got one man to beat going the other way. Takes a shot, glances off the bottom of the post and into the far corner. Tough break there for the Engineers as Neal had his shot picked out and just didn't place it correctly. Now a shot by Bradley from the neutral zone just gets stopped at the last minute by Gillum. A dangerous play there for Cornell. So Cornell dodging a couple of bullets here with 6:17 left in the second period. The Big Red now setting up behind their own net. Moving it ahead is Fiegel. Fiegel gets it past his defenders along the near boards, but can't get it past Karate along the end boards. And Karate will try and get it free to McGowan. McGowan kind of touches it down, but can't control, and Cornell will regroup down in their own end. Joachim Ryan pushes it off of the near boards, gets it ahead for Tietinen. Tietinen and Karate collide in the near corner, and now it is Diaz coming free with it for Cornell. Tries to get up for Bardreau, but it's taken by the Engineers. Liljegren up for McGowan. McGowan crosses the red line and sends it in. It goes all the way around. McGowan going into the far board to collect his own pass. Now it's picked up by Wood in the corner. It's up for Prapavesis along the near boards. Prapavesis walking in, takes a shot, saved by Gillum. Puck is loose. And now the whistle blows.
Player in the crease possibly. I didn't think he would make it in there, but I mean.
It's entirely possible that Kevin Curtis just lost sight of the puck after the initial shot by Prapavesis. I think it did end up in the glove of Mitch Gillum by the end of it. So
that's probably it. Yeah.
So I think that's why the whistle ultimately blew. But another couple of good chances for the Engineers here, and they've got the first goal of this one. They're certainly going to be looking for a second coming up, and they've had their opportunities in the last couple of minutes.
I really like that lead-up pass that was made up Matt Neal, and he had the opportunity to kind of touch the puck, but let it go through. If he touched the puck, then the defenseman would actually have collided with him, or at least broke it up with his stick. But he let that one pass through, and the puck ended up going behind the defenseman. It was a smart play by Matt Neal, and letting that one go by him and get past the D, pick up the puck, and kind of get a opportunity 1-0 with the goalie there.
He had a lot of open ice to work with. Yeah. I think he just didn't get the lift he wanted on that wrister that he was able to uncork from the far face-off circle. Back to action here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Puck is in the Cornell end. RPI now controlling. They leave it for Schrader. Schrader tries to control behind the Cornell net. It's taken instead by Jacob McDonald, who's moving it across the RPI logo. Gets it into the RPI end. He's still trying to work with it. Now he's got Leonard on him in the corner. Jacob McDonald's a long way from home down there in the corner. And it's picked up by the Engineers, and they just barely get it out of the zone, but most of the Cornell players had retreated mostly back to the blue line anyway, so they're able to quickly get themselves set back up. Now kind of a sneaky play there by Cornell. They get it in. A shot by Hilbrick goes just wide of the crease. Now a centering pass by Cornell is intercepted by Nanny. Now Schrader going quickly with it the other way across the red line. Gets near the blue line, sends it down in. Melanson tries to give chase. It's picked up by the Cornell defenseman. Now the Big Red trying to move quickly the other way with it. This is Knisley. Knisley takes a shot that's blocked by Bokenfor. Bokenfor takes it into the corner. Now Knisley and Bourbonnais battle for it. Bourbonnais comes away with the puck. His pass intercepted by Widener. Widener takes a shot that's saved into the corner by Kasdorf, and the Engineers are able to clear it after a decent opportunity there for the Big Red to get themselves on the board with 3:54 left here in the second period. RPI with a 1-0 lead in this one. Cornell coming back with it. Widener across the blue line. It's a shot from the top of the faceoff circle by John McCarron. Now Gillespie trying to go the other way with it. He's rubbed off the puck by Ryan along the near boards in the Cornell zone. And the Big Red are going to come away with it. RPI getting a little bit sloppy here in the neutral zone as compared to what we've seen from them so far here in the first two periods of play. Rubella with it now. Gets close to the blue line, just kind of sends it in off of Wedman. And now the Engineers trying to keep it in the zone. Bubella is able to keep it by firing it in. Neal behind the net has it taken off of his stick by Joachim Ryan. And now an errant pass is going to trickle all the way down the ice, and it's going to be icing on Cornell.
Yeah, RPI. Cornell is also getting a lot of good opportunities here. Just some 2-on-1, some nice cross passes, and trying to go back door on Kasdorf, but just not even able to connect, and they can get the solid shot on, except for that one in that first period where Kasdorf made a spectacular save. But other than that, RPI has been controlling pretty well at this game.
Leonard takes a drive off the face-off that just goes wide of the net. Had a good look, got it through traffic, but didn't get it on. Now the battle is along the far boards in the Cornell end. That is Wedman coming away with it for Cornell. He brings it behind his own net, comes around with a pass to Diaz, who can't control it. That's going to head down ice, but no icing on Cornell this time. That is Prapavesis trying to get it across for Leonard. This pass to Neal, hops over Neal's stick, and is temporarily kept in by Cornell. Now a 3-on-2 for RPI if they can get down there quick enough. That is La Liberté along the near boards, but his pass is kind of just blocked by Hilbrick. And now it's Cornell coming away with the puck after a battle along the end boards. And it's left up for Freschke. Freschke drops it in. Karate goes back to get it. Now over to Wood. Wood tried to feather it up to Nanny, had it blocked by Buckles. And now it's Karate along the far boards behind the net to Wilson. Wilson looks like he's going to bring it up. Brings it across the blue line, gets up to the red line, up for Nanny. Drops it back for Wilson. But another quick shot by Schrader as Wilson just quickly flipped it into the far face-off circle, but that shot was blocked. And now Cornell moving it out on the stick of Trevor Yates. Yates will drop it in. Leonard gives chase. He backhands it over for Wilson. Wilson just hits it off the near boards and falls into the Cornell zone as RPI makes a line change. And Big Red looking to move through RPI's neutral zone forecheck. Over to Shantz along the near boards. He whips it around. Leonard is the first one there, but he can't get it past Hilbrick. Now Leonard and Hilbrick battle for it in the far corner of the RPI end. Cornell comes away on round with a quick shot. Is blocked by McGowan in front. That was a shot by Bordeaux. Now a shot from the point goes wide. Hilbrick with it behind the RPI net. He has Leonard battling with him behind the net. He gets it free to the near boards for Boudreau. Back to Hilbrick. Now Hilbrick still trying to get away from Leonard, who's giving him no space to operate. Gets it up for Bliss at the point. Bliss is just going to drop it down. Kazar's looking for it. Finds it to his left. And now that is Hilbrick behind the net with Schrader, who's given up an awful lot of height to the Cornell forward. Comes back to the point. That goes off of McGowan, who's blocked a couple of them in this sequence with 27 seconds left here in the second period. Headman pass for Wood, who's got a breakaway. Wood going in all alone. Didn't have much time to settle it down and just puts it over the net. As he heads back on, it was the end of his shift anyway, and now the puck being battled for along the near boards in the Cornell zone with 10 seconds left in the second period. Cornell comes away with it. That is Knisley. And it's going to be settled behind the net by the Big Red. They look like they're just going to be content to sit back there and let the period elapse. That's exactly what they're going to do. After 40 minutes of play here at Houston Fieldhouse, the Engineers have a 1-0 lead over the Cornell Big Red.
That was a heck of a kind of a soft serve pass or flick up the ice, and Jake Wood, that's smart right there. It's coming in and grabbing it with his hand and then with his skate pull out in front of him, and that, he had a lot of open ice to work with a little bit there. A little surprised he kind of shot it a little bit right away, and he was just trying to get up in the up high in the corner.
Honestly though, he was moving fast already, and by the time he got the puck, he was kind of running out of space between him and Gillum. So he had to, not only did he have to try and settle the puck quickly, which he was really unable to get a good settle on it, he had to make up his mind on exactly what he wanted to do quickly too, and that's a couple of things that conspire to make a quick breakaway a little bit easier on a netminder for sure. But really a golden opportunity that was created by Jake Wood, just getting himself open after the Engineers did a tremendous job of defending down in their own end for an extended period of time.
Yeah, credit to him, and that's something you got to keep on going with here. And Engineers. Looking very strong. They didn't take any penalties in that second period, which was the right idea, and then they get an equalizer, even strength. Go ahead goal, or even strength goal. So it's so Engineers look pretty solid in the second period, but we have one more period left for this game. All right, we'll take a quick break here, and here in the intermission, we'll come back for the Intermission report, but you have to come back for the third period eventually. After 2 periods play, RPI 1, Cornell 0. You are listening to live coverage of Engineer Hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy.
We got a few stragglers coming on. Any more? We got still a few coming on. And it looks like we got a winner. 5? And puck number 5. Puck number 5 is the winner of tonight's Dunkin' Donuts Chuck-a-Puck competition. Dunkin' Donuts is proud to support RPI Athletics. Let's go Red, and thank you to all participants. Puck number 5 is our Chuck-a-Puck winner tonight. Congratulations. A reminder, folks, the National Grid Foundation has partnered with RPI Athletics, bringing local schools in Troy the Shoot for the Stars program. RPI Athletics would like to thank National Grid Foundation for their support of our local youth and communities. Rensselaer Honda is proud to support RPI Athletics. Fans, bring in your game ticket to Rensselaer Honda up Hoosick and receive $50 off your next Honda purchase. Hey kids, become a Junior Engineers Kids Club member today and experience the exciting world of RPI Athletics. Kids Club member benefits include birthday parties, meet and greets, and full RPI Athletics access. Log on to rpiathletics.com for more information. And a reminder, fans, visit the RPI bookstore for all of your RPI apparel, gifts, and more. The RPI bookstore is located on the lower level of the Rensselaer Student Union. Attention RPI hockey fans, what are you doing this summer? Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute offers credit courses, customized programs, summer enrichment programs, and sports camps for you to explore and begin to develop your passions and interests. Visit the Summer at Rensselaer website at summer.rpi.edu to see what we have for you. Say, fans, ever wanted to take a luxury cruise but didn't want to fly? Yankee Trails World Travel works with Carnival, Holland America, NCL, MSC, Royal Caribbean, and cruise lines, offering cruise departures out of New York City and New Jersey. They also include their Cruise Express shuttle transportation in all of their packages. For reservations and more information, call 286-2400 or visit online at yankeetrails.com. Fans, the men's hockey team takes on Brown University Friday, February the 13th for Military Appreciation Night. Stop by the Houston Fieldhouse box office and grab your tickets tonight, or log on to tickets.athletics.rpi.edu to purchase your tickets online. RPI Men versus Brown, Friday, February 13th.
And good evening, hockey fans. We are live once more here at the Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. My name is Ryan Clark, and I'm joined by Tom Reel on your home for Engineer Hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. After 2 periods of play, RPI having a 1-0 lead. And we're soon to begin the third period. Before we do, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all club-related activity of the Institute. That includes WRPI's coverage of hockey, football, and baseball. As a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org, and you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we will provide the broadcast on your internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org. Looking over the stats here, RPI getting the 1 goal that come from Jake Wood, and it's just going to Luke Girardi and Zach Schur. That was 7:45 of the second. That would be the only goal in the second, thus giving a 1-0 lead thus far in this contest. Shots in second period, and RPI with 7 and Cornell with 5. And saves as Kastorf made 5 and Gillum made 6.
So taking a quick look around the ECAC so far this evening, over in Schenectady, after 2 periods of play, Union has a 2-1 lead over Colgate. In Hanover, the start of the third period in that one, Dartmouth and Clarkson are tied at 2. St. Lawrence has a 3-1 lead over Harvard in Boston, Massachusetts. That's very early in the third period. And about 5 minutes into the third period, at the Yale Whale in New Haven, the Yale Bulldogs have a 5-1 lead over the Brown Bears. So that is where we stand around the ECAC. One non-conference game going on involving an ECAC team, Quinnipiac and Merrimack tied at 1 early in the third period. We are just about ready to get started with the third period here at the Fieldhouse. It will be RPI skating from right to left across your radio dial, just as they did in the first period. They are arguably 20 minutes away from what would be a crucial weekend sweep, but it's an awful long 20 minutes when you're only up by 1 goal. Cornell, remember, scored 5 goals last night against the Union Dutchmen, so they do have the capacity to score goals. They haven't shown it off that frequently this year, but the Engineers are going to need to lock down with some good defense and maybe get themselves an insurance marker here in the third if they're going to get out of here with the 2 points that they so desperately need.
Yeah, RPI just needs to continue to keep the pressure on and keep offensively, and I wouldn't go back on defense too soon here in the third period. But it's crucial to just keep the pressure on, continue to play offense and maintain control in their own zone, and try to increase the lead that they have. So.
Certainly not time for the Engineers to turtle by any stretch of the imagination. They've got to keep their foot on the gas and see what they can create. They've come close to scoring the second goal since Wood's marker 7:45 into the second period, so they can get that second one. That'll be crucial for them here in the third. It is Knisley stepping in against Bubella, and looks like it's going to be a face-off win for the Big Red. Wilcox crosses his own blue line, gets to the red line, dumps it in. Chased down by Bokenfour. Bokenfour tries to get it along the near boards, but it's dropped down by a Cornell forward. Engineers now just trying to work it free out of the zone, and they are successful. That is Knisley giving chase down in his own end with Bubella on the forecheck. Bubella tries to cut him off the puck. And Knisley is able to get it to the near boards. Bubella can't control it, and that's McCarron pushing it up out of the zone. Neal has to dive forward to push it back for Bokenfour, and he'll send it in on Gillum, who has to make the save. Now puck ends up towards the Cornell bench as they were making a line change. They all let it go, and it's picked up by Prapavesis. Prapavesis up to the red line. Shantz tries to grab it, but it's taken by DeVito into the zone. DeVito now in the near corner of the Cornell zone. Takes a shot that's blocked off of Jacob McDonald. And now McGowan with it in the far corner of the Cornell end. Drops it back for DeVito. DeVito has Ryan Bliss on him. Bliss gets the puck away, but Liljegren comes to help out. Now McGowan coming to help out as well. He just flips it in front. It lands on the stick of DeVito, who can't get a good shot away. Now Liljegren behind the net along the end boards, goes back to the far boards. It's up for Prapavessis at the point. Prapavessis drops back down for Leonard. Leonard curls back towards the point. He leaves it for really nobody, but ends up behind the Cornell net. And it's taken by McGowan. McGowan up for Prapavessis. Brings it back for DeVito. DeVito now. Cross-ice pass for Leonard. Bounces off the far end, and Leonard takes the puck. Some good sustained pressure here by the Engineers in the first 2 minutes of the third period. DeVito is pushed up against the near boards by Bliss. And it's Cornell coming away with it. Headman pass for Bardreau, who has it taken off of his stick by Schrader, and they'll just dump it in now to the RPI end. Leonard takes the puck as Cornell wants a fresh set of wheels out there for this shift. For Prapavessis, the cross-ice pass for Schrader. Schrader gets into the zone. Nanny wants the puck. Schrader takes a shot, saved by Gilliam, who has it fall directly in front of him. He scoops it up for the whistle.
And Schrader taking a shot in, hoping maybe for a rebound. Just getting the puck in and get the whistle. And a solid shot right into the chest. Coming out to Gilliam and just makes the cover. 17:45 here in the third period. RPI pressing early, and RPI having a 1-0 lead.
Cornell wins the face-off in their end. Taken by Joachim Ryan. Ryan across the blue line. Taken off of his stick by the Engineers, and now RPI trying to go all the way with it. Nanny with a no-look pass for Schrader that goes nowhere. It's picked up by Cornell, but they put it into the RPI bench. And we'll have a face-off coming up with 17:31 now left in the third period.
The kind of flick up into the RPI bench from the neutral ice. The face-off would have thought it would be actually in the center ice, but I think it's just because the Cornell actually intentionally put it in there. It goes into their own zone, so the right face-off here is the right of Gilliam.
Face-off won by the Engineers, back to Karate. Karate lofts it down into the corner for nobody. And Bourbonnais comes back with it along the near boards. He loses the handle on it, goes out into the neutral zone. Karate gets a cross-ice pass to Wilson, who's being harassed by Trevor Yates. He does a good job of keeping the puck away from Wilson. Now Karate with it. D-to-D pass to the far boards for Wilson. Wilson will send it in for Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais turning along the far boards. Stops, leaves it for Melanson. Melanson, a cross-ice pass to Bradley. Bradley takes a shot that goes just wide. Got through traffic, but didn't hit anything. Now Gillespie behind the Cornell net. Backhands it off for Melanson in the corner. Melanson now tries to swing it around for Bourbonnais. Now Balkenforth takes a shot that goes just behind the net. Comes back around for Bradley at the point. Bradley will send it down for Melanson. He gives it a pass, and now Bourbonnais will go give chase along the far boards. Bourbonnais curling around, gets it back up to Bradley, who has space. Bradley takes a shot, goes off the post. Bradley's just kind of sticked away by Gilliam, who had his leg just up against that near post. Now Cornell tries to get it out by pushing it off and out in. Matt Neal kept it in, sent it up to La Liberté, and he goes 5-hole. And just like that, it's 2-0 Engineers.
Yeah, that caught Gilliam off guard there. It was kind of a shot that it came in, or it was either a pass down low. It was a hard pass or a shot, and it came to the stick of Jacob Liberté, and he just deflected it, stick covering his 5-hole there.
And that was really created by Matt Neal, who took the pass. Cornell tried to clear it off the near boards. He took that quickly, put it down, and quickly moved it to La Liberté before Gilliam even knew what was going on. I think he thought that was going to be cleared out. Now RPI winning the face-off and coming back down into the Cornell end with it, looking for more. But it's taken by Wilcox. Now Cornell will clear it out of the zone. This is going to head all the way down ice, and it's going to be, the icing's waved off. La Liberté over to the far corner to try to dig it out. Comes free to Cornell. They take a kind of a weak shot from the point that just kind of gets deflected wide. Prapavessis tries to give chase, but he falls down. Now Prapavessis tries to pull it out, but it's brought back to the point for Bliss, who takes a shot that deflects in front and goes into the corner. Now this is Wilcox going behind the RPI net. He leaves it off for Knisley. Back to Bliss at the point. Bliss drops it down in for Widener. Widener back up to Bliss. Bliss takes a shot that goes off at Kasdorf and is picked up by Bubella in the corner. Kept in at the point by Bliss, but his pass is intercepted by Prapavessis, who crosses the logo and just sends it in. Goes right on the stick of Gilliam, who sends it over to his bench as they're changing. Not a smart move. Nobody touches it, and it goes down ice, but it's not going to be called icing on Cornell. Now a headman pass for DeVito is flicked into the zone. He'll give chase with Ryan into the corner. Ryan gets it up and around for Hilbrick on the far boards. Hilbrick with a cross ice pass back to Ryan. Now into the near corner. Karate throws his man in the corner to the amusement of the RPI faithful here at Houston Fieldhouse. That helps the Engineers gain control of the puck. And now 2-on-1 for RPI. McGowan has Bubella with the shot and scores! McGowan had Bubella 2-on-1, made the perfect pass. Bubella had to just put it down, put it to the right of Gillum, and RPI takes a 3-0 lead.
That was a great breakout opportunity for the Engineers, taking the 2-on-1 and capitalizing on it. It was a saucer pass to the sprawling out defenseman, and McGowan had it, and he just caught it at his
over to Wilson.
Wilson, yeah.
Wilson, not Bubella. But nice, just Jared Wilson being in the right place at the right time, moving in, doing what he has been doing as a defenseman, which is to go ahead and join the play. And he gets a goal for his troubles. And here's a new goaltender coming in for the Cornell Big Red as Hayden Stewart, the freshman out of Rockford, Illinois, skates into place for the Big Red.
Yeah, that was kind of a little bit of Gillum's fault there, because he kind of went to the left a little too quickly. As Wilson just kind of caught at his skates, and it just was a slight delay, and Gillum was just already sliding and just left enough room to
he was almost playing the pass too much, even though there was a pass.
Right.
If that's such a thing. So just a breakout early third period here for the Engineers as they've taken a 3-0 lead in this one. At the next stoppage, Ryan will get you caught up on both of the last two goals for the Engineers as the Engineers ice the puck with 14:11 left in the third period. It's certainly not the way this game was expected to go if you're Cornell, not after you got off a 5-1 thrashing of the defending national champions last night.
So continue on that. Face off here to the left of Castor.
Won by Cornell. It's back to McDonald. McDonald pushes back into the zone for McCarron. McCarron trying to get away from Bradley. He turns and takes a shot that goes wide. Actually, it was a pass that went around the back of the RPI net. It goes back out to the blue line for Ryan, who takes a shot that's saved by Kasdorf. Kasdorf has turned away everything he's seen thus far tonight, which is a total of 14 shots by the Cornell Big Red. Now RPI coming back with it the other way. That is Schrader. He doesn't really have much of an angle, and RPI is changing anyway, so let's flick it into the zone. Melanson can't keep McDonald from coming across the logo. Now Feigl has to hold up at the blue line, gets sent in, and it's taken by Prapavesis. Prapavesis now to Gillespie along the RPI bench. He sends it into the zone and taken by McDonald. Now the Big Red trying to get something going. They're trying to move the puck down, but the Engineers doing a great job of playing their game in the neutral zone. Picked up by Anderson, brings it behind the net, drops it for Tietinen. Tietinen is doing battle with Prapavesis in the far corner. He comes away with it, drops it for Wedman at the point. His shot's blocked and goes to center. Cornell has to get onside. They do, but it's taken by Bourbon, who curls around and sends it over for Prapavesis. Mike Prapavesis across the blue line. Gets it across the logo, across the red line, sends it in where it's stopped down by Hayden Stewart. And now Melanson behind the Cornell net. Gets it up for Wilson at the point, who takes a shot that's just sticked away by Stewart. And now Melanson has it, backhands it along the near boards for Gillespie. Gillespie trying to cut to the net. He just kind of flicks it in front. Doesn't go to anybody, but it's picked up by Wilson, who skates in. Now his kind of pass for nobody glances off a Cornell skate into the near boards and out, as Cornell desperately needed a line change there. That's a big help for them. It's going to be Bourbonnais going back to collect behind the RPI net. He comes around the left side, brings it across the blue line. Across the red line at the RPI bench, sends it in on Hayden Stewart, who makes the save and just pushed it over to his left for Ryan Bliss, who now sets up behind his own net with 11:56 remaining here in the third period. RPI with a 3-0 lead. Cornell brings it across the red line into the zone. Has it taken off the stick by Bradley. Comes back around and out of the RPI end. So Cornell getting the puck down, but really not getting much of an opportunity to set anything up in the RPI zone here during most of this third period. Some good forechecking pressure there by Bubella, but the Big Red able to get it out of the zone anyway. This is Knisley bringing it into the zone, but it's intercepted by RPI. They bring it right back down. Now Bubella one-on-one coming down. Shot goes off of the shoulder of Hayden Stewart into the corner, and Bubella gives chase there. Now he has it, goes back around the far corner. Leaves it for McGowan in the far corner. Now McGowan bringing it back, drops it off for Prapavesis. Prapavesis leaves for Neal. just kind of leaving it along that far board. And just playing a little bit of keep away right now from Cornell in their own zone, but finally the Big Red able to control. They bring it out of their zone 3-on-2. Here comes Cornell. It's dropped off for McCarron. McCarron takes a shot that's saved by Kasdorf into the far boards. And it's RPI coming away with it once again as Prapavesis gets it ahead for Neal. Neal now coming up 3-on-2 with Prapavesis and McGowan. Prapavesis was the intended recipient of a pass by Neal, but that went all the way through. Then a pass across the crease by McCarron. And Stewart knocks the net off as he's trying to get himself in position. So the play is blown down with 10:39 left in the third period. RPI up 3-0.
Let's go to the 2 goals there at 3:50. Jacob Alverte gets his 4th goal of season, and assists just going to Matt Neal. And at 5:38, RPI makes a 3-1 lead. That goes to Jared Wilson, his 3rd of the season, and assists going to Mark McGowan and Jimmy DeVito.
So that is where we stand here with 10:39 remaining. RPI with a 3-0 lead, and they're still continuing to play well down in the Cornell end. Also a win for the Big Red on the face-off in their own zones. McCarron bringing it up across the blue line into the RPI zone. Battle for it behind the net is won by the Big Red. Pass comes back up to the point for Anderson, who takes a shot that gets blocked into the far corner. And the Engineers take the puck, bring it out of the zone. Liljegren alongside the RPI bench up for Leonard. Leonard takes a shot from the neutral zone that goes in on net. Hayden Stewart forced to make another save. Stewart on in relief of Mitch Gillum. The book on Gillum, 16 saves on 19 shots, and was badly burned on a 2-on-1 at the end that led to his early exit from this one. Got an icing call on Cornell. So the faceoff goes back down into the Big Red end with 9:50 left here in the third period, and RPI up by 3.
Yeah, you know, it's good to see RPI having the right idea, coming out strong. And it's one thing kind of you mentioned, you know, just not to be, you know, to fall back and play defense, but RPI did the right thing. They're coming out really strong offensively and connecting like they did, and capitalizing on opportunities and getting the 2 goals and making it a 3-0 lead here.
If nothing else, and this is kind of an understatement since there's a lot going for RPI right now, the Engineers can put a feather in their cap for having chased one of the top netminders in the country, really, by statistics so far this season in Mitch Gillum. Back to action at the Fieldhouse. The puck is being fought for along the far boards near the RPI blue line. The Engineers come away with it. Karate sends it up for Wood, who sends it down into the zone as RPI changes their lines up. Nanny is forechecking along with Melanson as Nanny decides it's time for him to come off the ice. Cornell just behind their own net now, looking to move. That is Freshke with a cross-ice pass for Dan Wedman. Wedman tries to move it up into the neutral zone. It's broken up by Balkenfor, and it's taken by the Engineers. Now Gillespie across the shield and takes a shot that's right on Hayden Stewart. He had to be sharp to stop that one. He covers up for the whistle with 9 minutes left in the third period.
A couple neutralized shots, long shots from the Engineers there. Yes. About as much action, attention the Stewart's been getting. Look at here, out-of-town scores thus far here. We have Quinnipiac close and Merrimack. They are down 2-1 with about 9:43 remaining in the third period. St. Lawrence with a 4-1 lead over Harvard with 12:06 remaining in the third. Union holding a 2-1 lead over Colgate just after 2 periods. And Clarkson with a 4-2 lead over Dartmouth with 11:27 left in the third, and Yale with a 5-1 lead over Brown with 3:29.
If you're the Big Red, you've really got to do something to change the flow of this game, because RPI not only has the 3-goal lead, but they're controlling every aspect at this point. It's been all RPI here in the third. As we're back to action, the Engineers win the face-off. Melanson has the puck in the far face-off circle, takes a shot that bounces off a player in front. Now Balkenfor takes a shot that goes just wide. Hayden Stewart didn't know exactly where that one was. He's looking a little bit shaky in there, the backup netminder for the Big Red. Engineers push the puck back down ice. Gillespie is there. He's trying to keep the puck away from McDonald. Now it's Bourbonnais behind the net, trying to keep away from Knisley. Bourbonnais falls down as he tries to come around the net, but he doesn't lose possession. Now Gillespie on the near boards. He's put up along the board by McDonald. Bourbonnais trying to get the puck from Knisley. Comes free to Cornell, and they get it out of the zone. It's the end of the Cornell shift, so they just kind of push it up. RPI misplays the puck, but Jake LaLiberte can't control the pass. That allows Cornell the opportunity to set up momentarily, but nice play by Bubella to knock the puck off of a stick and into the neutral zone. LaLiberte pushes into the Cornell zone. It's picked up by the Big Red. Bliss from along his own bench has his pass intercepted by Prapavesis. Neal flicks it on from the logo to Bubella, who can't control the pass. Now Teemu Tittinen in the corner. Tries to leave it for Reese Wilcox. Back to Tittinen. Tittinen off the near boards. It's intercepted by Neal, who tries to send it down. Wilcox just took one in the throat and ends up going to LaLiberte. LaLiberte takes a shot that goes wide of the net. Picked up by Prapavesis at the point, but he loses control of it. 2-on-2. They hurry up for Cornell. Cornell takes a shot that goes off of Jason Kasdorf. That shot taken by Madison Diaz. And now the Engineers heading back down ice with it the other way. Missed pass is going to go all the way down ice for icing. Boy, that looked painful. Wilcox took one right in the throat, and he grabbed it pretty quickly right away. But it looks like he's going to be okay. He's sitting there just on the side of the Cornell bench. Doesn't look like he's in too much pain anymore. Sometimes you just gotta buck up and take one. 7:06 remaining in the third period. RPI with a 3-0 lead as the faceoff comes to the right of Jason Kasdorf, won by the Engineers. Prapavesis behind his own net. Plays a little keep away from Christian Hilbrick. And now it's brought out of the zone by DeVito. DeVito comes around the net, kind of stops and goes the other way with it. Now left in front, shot is saved by Stewart. That was a shot by Wilson coming in from the point. And now it's kept in by McGowan, who is there covering for Wilson. Tries to leave it down for DeVito. Now Liljegren tries to get around Ryan. Ryan's able to stick it over to Freschke, who gets it out of the zone for Hilbrick. Now Boudreau coming in one-on-one with Wilson. Wilson gives him space to shoot. He lets his goaltender do the job, and Boudreau just shoots it wide. Good job by Kasdorf, really Kasdorf and Wilson to lock that one down. Wilson waiting to keep any passes from doing it and making Boudreau beat Kasdorf, and he just couldn't. Now RPI with the puck down in the Cornell end. This is Wood along the goal line. Curls around into the far corner. Passes it up for Bokenfour. Now Bradley at the top of the point. Bradley takes a shot that goes just to the left of the net, and the rebound is shot off the side of the cage. That was Schrader. Now Wood and Schrader trying to dig the puck out behind the Cornell net with Widener there. Widener's the one that's going to come away with it, but Nanny comes in to free to loose puck up in the far corner. Cornell gets the puck out of the zone. That's up for Widener. Widener crosses the red line and shoots it down ice. That's going to be picked up by John McCarron in the near corner of the RPI end, but RPI quick to move it back into the neutral zone with 5:21 left to go in regulation. The Engineers holding a 3-0 lead over the visiting Cornell Big Red and looking very good right now. Not too many big opportunities, but a missed opportunity there for RPI to move the puck out of the zone. It's taken by Feigl and moves it around the RPI net as Cornell looks to set up and try to get something going offensively. They lose the puck on a kind of a stop-and-go move by Shantz, who tried to deke his defender out, and that allows RPI the opportunity to move the puck out. Melanson's giving chase, but he can't collect it before Holden Anderson. Now RPI intercepts the puck in the neutral zone. They're moving forward with it. Gillespie now just pushes the puck off the stick of Holden Anderson, and that's basically the way things have been going for Cornell. Now a shot by Bourbonnais is saved in front. Bourbonnais goes back and get it. Leonard at the top of the slot brings it to Gillespie. Gillespie takes a shot. That's saved by Stewart just before it went 5-hole. Managed to close it up just in the nick of time to keep Gillespie from scoring. Kenny Gillespie's had a number of good opportunities. Now Gillespie brings it back across the blue line. Feeds it to Bubella, who takes a shot. That's stopped in front by Anderson, who was directly in front of him. Puck goes into the near corner. Bubella up for Neal, who just dipsy doodles it around. Can't get the shot off though because he had to go from the backhand to the forehand. And the puck ends up in the far corner of the Cornell zone with 3:59 remaining now in the third period. Sometimes your best defense is just playing good offense, and the Engineers are maintaining pressure in the Cornell zone. As Cornell finally gets the puck out and ends up going down ice with it. RPI goes back there to collect it. but that is going to be put into the seats by Jacob LaLiberte. Face-off coming in the RPI end.
If Matt Neal got that goal there, that would have been the highlight of the night. I mean, it was a pass that was in front of him and then pulled behind him between his legs and kind of shot it, tried to shoot him, beat him on the short side. And
he definitely had no leverage on his backhand, so he had to move to his forehand to take the shot, and that's really what did him in on that. But it was a nice move to get free.
Yeah, and also probably didn't, just having that angle, but I think he had the goalie kind of beat, but just trying to get that angle out just to go a little bit more to the left. But that was a great opportunity there. Matt Neal just getting it right down below, get behind the D, and this is like what the fifth time our engineers have really knowing how just getting open and sneaking behind the D and right in the front and leaving their goalie out to dry.
Just a reminder, you're listening to live coverage of Engineers hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. My name is Tom Reel. I'm joined by Ryan Clark. And Cornell has called an official timeout, so this isn't just a run-of-the-mill media timeout. The Big Red with the face-off coming up in the RPI zone. They're desperate to get themselves on the board here at the very least. If they're going to get themselves back in, this is going to be their moment to probably get started with the face-off coming down in the RPI's end. And Mike Schaefer has chosen to pull Hayden Stewart from the net. So in addition to the face-off being in the RPI end, 6-on-5 for the time being as Cornell wins the faceoff. Wilcox goes D to D across for Ryan. Bordeaux takes a shot that's saved by Kasdorf, and he holds on for the whistle.
It kind of almost looked like he kind of got behind him, but he knew where it was, and it was right under his right. It looked like under his left pad there, and he just pinched it down and took the whistle. We got 6 skaters here for Cornell, and the face-off here to the right of Kasdorf. 3:34 left in the third period. RPI with a 3-0 lead.
Cornell wins the face-off again. Wilcox along the near boards sends it down in for McCarron. McCarron can't control it. RPI trying to push the puck away from Hilbrick, and it's taken by Widener. Widener behind the RPI net over to Hilbrick. Hilbrick gets it up for Wilcox at the point. Wilcox across the blue line to Ryan. Ryan sends it in for McCarron, takes a shot, saved by Kasdorf. Comes free again to Bardreau. Bardreau skating around with it, top of the slot, skating in, takes a shot that goes off the back of DeVito and into the corner. McGowan is there, but he can't control it. It's taken by Hilbrick up for Ryan. Ryan fakes a shot over to Wilcox on the other part of the blue line. Another blue line pass to Ryan. Ryan takes a shot that deflects off the stick of Leonard and up into the netting for the whistle. So some more sustained pressure from Cornell off the face-off win there with the 6 skaters. But they're running a little bit lower on time, down 3, and now with only 2:51 left in the third period.
RPI doing well, just getting down and blocking shots, and Kasdorf being solved, and that face-off here to the right of Kasdorf.
This is Knisley setting in for Cornell against Bubella. Face-off again won by the Big Red. They're winning these face-offs late, which is important. Kind of a missed opportunity there for Cornell to shoot as some good back checking going on for the Engineers. The puck ends up kind of dribbling in on net, and Kasdorf just covers for the whistle.
That was kind of a dribble in that came to Knisley, but I think he was on one knee there. Like, oh no, he got the shot off.
Yeah, he got a shot off. Yeah, he
but
did.
He just was falling forward, and
he had nothing but Jason Kasdorf in front of him.
Yeah. Right at the doorstep.
So time continues to tick down. We're going to have a 4th straight face-off coming up in the RPI end. Cornell's been winning face-offs here late, which has given them the opportunity to set up offensively, but the RPI defense has been equal to the task thus far. And face-off won again by Cornell. Goes over for Anderson along the near boards. Sends it in looking for McCarron. Intercepted behind the net by Bradley, but he loses it. Now that pass over to Schrader. Schrader can't keep a hold of it as he's kind of nudged off the puck by Hilbrick. Now Schrader again along the far boards. He's able to get it out of the zone this time. He'll just send it down ice. He's kind of taking a shot, but it's going to be icing on the Engineers because he hadn't cleared the red line yet. So maybe a little bit of an error on the part of Schrader right there, as he probably should have moved the puck a little bit farther forward before taking a shot on the net, or at least if you were going to take a shot from that far out, you got to be a little bit more accurate than that.
Pressure was coming on him, you also didn't want to lose the puck, but it's try to get that red line so that you don't get the icing and have the face-off come there, and then also you're not able to change.
Face-off number 5 now. once again won by Cornell. They're winning these faceoffs when it matters. Shot comes in on Kasdorf. He manages to block it away. It comes into the near corner. Both teams with two guys down there doing battle. It's Cornell coming away with it. Bardreau along the near boards. He's it back for Widener. Widener takes a shot that deflects into the corner. Now spinning around with it is Freshke. Over to Widener on the near boards. Widener tries pass it into the slot, but it goes all the way back to the end boards and is picked up by Cole Bardreau. Now a pass into the slot is picked up by Neal, who will just bring it in. Now he'll take a shot. That bounces off the post, which will cause icing. So
it's like the second time you get the red line. He had the opportunity to do it, but then he just, again, getting antsy and just.
RPI just wants to. They see that net beckoning there. Neal's taking a shot. He came closer than Schrader did. He did hit the post.
Yeah,
But,
he looked confident with that shot too, and he had the opening, and he's like, you know what, I'm taking it right now.
Now the engineers are going to call timeout, which is probably the right thing to do here with 1:43 left, and those guys have been out there for quite some time, basically killing a penalty with the extra skater out there for Cornell. RPI just can't seem to get a good handle on the puck, but that's really all that they've done wrong here. They haven't been able to get control and then cross that red line, which is all they really need to do.
I'm sure Seth Evers telling the guys, don't worry about the goal, just get the red line and dump it, dump it in.
And literally everything else RPI is doing down in the zone right now is working. They're keeping Cornell on the perimeter. Exactly what they want to do. They're getting in the way of shots. They're not making it easy. There's no open ice down there for Cornell. They've got the extra skater, but there's nowhere for them to go.
The back check's good, blocking shots, goal. Kasdorf is definitely feeling it, and winning the puck battles. And that's let Cornell make mistakes, and trying to pass and goes right to stick RPI, but just get the red line. Don't worry about the goal here.
DeVito, Liljegren, and McGowan out there for the Engineers on the forward line. It is Prapavesis and Leonard as the defenseman. Cornell wins the faceoff, and a shot by McDonald goes wide of the net with 1:39 left to go here in the third period. Cornell still working with the extra skater. They've got the puck up now for Ryan, who fakes a shot, gets it across for McDonald, who one-times a pass over to Bardreau. He tries to put it in the slot, but it's picked up by DeVito. DeVito tries to get it out, but it's kept in by Ryan. Ryan will just send it back down ice. Widener in the corner, leaves it for McCarron. McCarron gets it around for Hilbrick. Now Bardreau coming around, getting up to Ryan at the top of the slot, takes a shot. That's saved by Kasdorf.
Now they can change it.
Cornell just looking for a way through to find some kind of avenue. Ryan had to put that one through traffic, but Jason Kasdorf was right in the right position he needed to be in. And with 1:06 left in the third period, RPI finally getting a line change as they get the line of seniors out there with Neal. Actually, they got Neal, Schrader, and it looks like that's who's that over on the far side? I can't see. Bradley's out there. Neal, Karate, Schrader, Bubella. There we go. Okay. So Cornell again winning the faceoff. They've been winning all of these faceoffs late in the third with the extra skater. As we enter the final minute of play here, Cornell still trying to move the puck. Now a point-blank shot is saved by Kasdorf. That was Freshke that ended up with the puck on his stick right in front of the crease. He whipped one.
And right into the glove of Kasdorf.
Right into the glove of Jason Kasdorf. That's the way things are going for Cornell here this evening. That's just how well Jason Kasdorf is playing, and he's got himself 50.1 seconds away from a shutout if he can continue to hold on here in the final minute of play. Still 6 skaters for Cornell. They win the face-off. Shot is blocked by Schrader. That was a shot from Anderson. And now the puck comes back to Anderson along the blue line with 40 seconds left. Up for Ryan in the circle. He had a wide open spot of the net to shoot at, and he missed. Put it just wide into the corner. Cornell collects it over there. This is Hilbrick. Engineer's trying to get it away from him. He drops it off for Widener. Now back over to the far boards with 17 seconds remaining in the third period. Puck comes back around to the near boards. Cornell still looking for room to work with it. Widener takes a shot. That didn't go anywhere. Now he puts it into the slot. It's picked up by Nanny. Nanny's just going to drop it. That's going the length of the ice. Doesn't hit the goal, but that doesn't matter because time runs out before Cornell can get down there. And the Engineers pick up their their first shutout victory of the season, and it's against the Cornell Big Red. They sweep the weekend at home with a 3-0 victory over the Big Red.
That's a big win for the Engineers here, and Kasdorf on his game and getting the shutout. This evening, RPI did everything correct here in the third period, getting the 2 goals and capitalizing on opportunities, and holding strong also with the extra man from Cornell, the pressure in the last 3 minutes.
Certainly a needed victory for RPI heading into what is a short lull in the ECAC schedule for them, really the last one. Next weekend they play a non-conference game against Union, which has all kinds of other implications outside of the ECAC, but really doesn't play at all into how the Engineers are going to finish this season up. And the following weekend they have just 1 game at Dartmouth. So these next 2 weekends, they have just 1 game to earn ECAC points. So in the 2 they had this weekend, they made the most of it, picking up 4 crucial points in the ECAC, defeating Colgate by a score of 3-1 last night and picking up a 3-0 victory here tonight in a sequence of events this weekend that are sure to turn a couple of heads within the league. So I'm going to run down the scoring for you in this one, and Ryan is going to pick his offensive and defensive Engineers of the game. All 3 goals in this one scored by the homestanding Engineers from RPI. Second period was when the first goal was scored at 7:45. Jake Wood scored his 3rd goal of the season from Luke Karate and Zach Schrader and made it 1-0. That was the score heading into the 3rd period. RPI struck twice in the first 6 minutes of this 3rd period as Jacob LaLiberte scored his 4th goal of the season. The lone helper to Matt Neal, who notched his 10th assist of the year on that goal. Really, Neal's work setting that one up with some quick play along the blue line. That goal coming at 3:50 of the 3rd period to make it 2-0. And then a little under 2 minutes later at 5:38, Jared Wilson hits one home off of a pass from Mark McGowan on a 2-on-1, scoring his 3rd goal of the season to make it 3-0 RPI. Jimmy DeVito also credited with an assist on that goal. Jason Kasdorf got the win in net for the Engineers. He made 26 saves on 26 shots to pick up his first shutout of the 2014-2015 season. Mitch Gillum started the game in net for the Big Red in 45 minutes and 38 seconds of play. He made 16 saves on 19 shots. Hayden Stewart came on in relief for the final, I shouldn't say the final 10:38. He had 10:38 of time in net. Made 9 saves on 9 shots, and then the final 3:44 were empty net. RPI was unable to get a shot on goal during that empty net period, but it didn't matter anyway because the Engineer defense stood strong for really about 4 good minutes down in their own end with the extra skater to skate off with the victory in this one. Only 4 penalties in this game, 3 of them to the Engineers. Cornell was 0 for 3 on the power play. 1 penalty against Cornell. And the Engineers were 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Total shots on goal in this one, 28-26 in favor of the Engineers.
So Engineers of the game here, offensive. I go to the Jake Wood, really, coming up on the goal and getting the rebound that was left up. He getting the first goal of the game, and but while being hooked, to get a lot of credit to him to actually, getting that shot off and over and past Gillum. Get to start off the Engineers there in the second period. Defensively, I go to the Jared Wilson, not just grabbing the goal, but actually filling the role an offensive player coming in and hopping in the opportunity, the 2-on-1. Credit that goes to him. So look here, out of town scores. Look at that. Merrimack finishes off Quinnipiac 3-1. That was a final 12:06. Well, 8 minutes remaining in the third period. St. Lawrence with a 4-1 lead over Harvard. Colgate and Union are now tied with 4 minutes left in that third period. Clarkson with a 5-2 win over Dartmouth, and Yale with a 5-1 win over Brown. Women's ECAC hockey here. We have Dartmouth with a win over 4-2 win over Harvard. Yale with a 5-1 win over Colgate. Quinnipiac 3-0 win over Robert Morris. Cornell with a 4-2 win over Brown. St. Lawrence 4-2 win over Union. And looks to finish here, Clarkson with a 4-2 win over RPI.
Just to remind you, our next WRPI sports broadcast is currently scheduled to emanate from the Achilles Center and Mesa Rink in Schenectady, New York, as the RPI women's hockey Engineers take on the Union Dutch women in the first game of a home-and-home series, and it's really a crucial one for the women's hockey team. That game on Friday, scheduled for a 7 p.m. puck drop. On-air time on WRPI should be about 6:45. Our next men's hockey broadcast will be coming live from the Times Union Center in Albany, New York for the annual Mayor's Cup game. That one expected to be really a big one for both of these sides. They're hoping for maybe over 10,000 people in person at the game. I know from personal experience, the lower bowl is pretty much almost sold out. You really can't get a couple of seats together there. But a big game for the Engineers next weekend, not in the ECAC standings, but for local pride as they take on the Union Dutchmen in the Mayor's Cup game. Puck drop for that one scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Note that later start time at the TU Center. 7:30 puck drop, so a likely on-air time for WRPI at 7:15 p.m. on Saturday, January 24th. Ryan?
All right, so on behalf of Tom Reel here, we'd like to thank Kate back at the station getting us on the air. I'd also like to thank you for tuning in for tonight's action. The final score here at the Houston Fieldhouse in Troy, New York, RPI 3, Cornell Big Red 0. You have been listening to live coverage of Engineer Hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy.